with great power comes another trailer. So the latest trailer for Spider-Man Homecoming has hit, and I am really been looking for something to be a bit more positive about, because I know some of you guys are sick of me being negative about everything. I'm kind of sick of being negative about everything. Unfortunately, I do have issues with it. I've actually got one really big one, but you know what? That's coming at the end. Let's start positive, because you know what? Almost everything I saw, I liked. Or if I didn't flat out like it, it didn't annoy me. So there's a lot to enjoy here. I like the rapport that Tom Holland has with Robert Downey Jr. as Peter and Tony. I love that Tony tossed off the line, you know, friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, but like not just to crowbar it in, but it's like, no, this is the scale you should be working at. You're the neighborhood hero. Let the Avengers worry about the huge stuff. I like that sort of finding a way to use that classic descriptor of Spider-Man, but sort of have a narrative justification for it. I like that. I really like the rapport and the vibe of the back and forth between him and his friend. I love that he lets his friend try the suit on. I think the way the suit kind of sucks in, that's really cool, because it kind of helps answer the question, how's he get in that thing so quickly? Well, it just sort of slips it on and then it fits itself. Cool, that's nifty. I am really intrigued by Michael Keaton's Vulture. I'm just liking the vibe off him. I like this. He seems to have some anger built up against the wealthy that might feed into his backstory. The whole I'll do anything for my family line felt weird and out of nowhere. It's my guess, just based off what we've seen, that by family he means like his crew, you know, that he does heists with or whatever. I don't really know. That line felt a little out of place, but just the general vibe of dangerous, and like the vibe he gives off is that he's got nothing against Spider-Man, but if the guy's in his way, he's gonna kill him. And I kind of like that, because I mean, we've seen so many personal vendettas against Spider-Man in pretty much every movie. So to have someone who's got their own goal and Spider-Man's just in the way, that's a nice change up from characters like the Green Goblin or Venom or Electro, or these characters who were really out to get him. So it's a nice break from that. I like the sense of escalation where Peter's like on the ferry and he's quipping and he's doing the web and he's like, I got this. And then the Vulture just tears through the whole thing. He's like, no, I do not have this. I really like Tony's lines with him when he's telling him, you know, don't be like me. You're supposed to be better. And if you need the suit, then you shouldn't have it. I mean, coming from Tony, these are perfect lines, because he's obviously channeling so much of what he wishes he was better, and he's projecting his own failings in a way onto Peter, and he wants Peter to be better. And when he sees Peter making not the same mistakes, but doing things that remind him of the things that he himself, that Tony has done that he knows weren't for the best, he kind of takes it out on him. And I like that, because it means Tony isn't just there as a cameo to be a father figure, that Tony is there with his own stuff going on, his own baggage going on. That's getting acknowledged. I like that. So like I said, there's pretty much everything that I see in this trailer I like. The problem is there's a lot of it I kind of wish I hadn't seen. And I feel like in a way I don't want to say I owe an apology, but I owe a minor addendum to my thoughts on when I did my review of the Justice League trailer, because there was something I should have acknowledged, but so many other things annoy me that it didn't occur to me to. The one thing that, regardless of your feelings about the Justice League trailer and about what it represents and what you think the movie's going to be, it didn't give away a ton of plot. And that was good, especially given how much plot got completely given away in the marketing and the trailers in BVS ahead of that release. So that is something that deserves acknowledgement, and that occurred to me watching this trailer, which is full of stuff I am really liking, but I can't let it off the hook for something I raked BVS over the coals for, which is showing so much of the plot. Now, strictly speaking, we don't know really how far into the movie this stuff goes, but it feels like we could possibly be getting right up to the final confrontation, because I mean, if Peter's last sort of big thing with the Vulture is when he doesn't have the suit after Tony's taken away from him, then we saw that. Now, it's possible that's just the Act 2 capper, because if we go by, say, Civil War, we saw pretty much everything leading up to that big Act 2 climax at the airport, with just a few glimpses of what came after that, and that was sort of where the film was able to go the extra mile and give us some stuff that maybe we we weren't expecting with where it went there. So if this confrontation of Peter in his old homemade suit confronting the Vulture is, say, the climax of Act 2, and we've still got all of Act 3 and they haven't shown us that, then that's fine. Unfortunately, I don't know for certain that's the case, and even if that is the case, I still can't completely let this trailer off the hook because it does lay out the plot so specifically. So now I know that regardless of whether it was the fairy or not, that there's something that Peter does that makes Tony take away the suit. I would have preferred to have been surprised by that turn of events in the theater. I now know how the whole thing with the fairy gets resolved. That's a big one in my book. That was a big annoyance because that was a great capper on the original teaser, like him trying to hold his fairy together and me seeing that going, how in the heck is he gonna deal with this? I mean, is he just gonna fail? How can he possibly succeed? Well, now I know. Tony comes in and saves him. So any tension that really great image had is now gone, and I don't like that. So I wish I could be more positive on this trailer, but again, everything I saw that I liked. I just wish they hadn't shown me so much, and with what they did show me, I mean, hopefully there's still some surprises in store, but even if they are, the stuff that they showed me, they broke down, it felt like they broke down the entire layout for whatever sections of the film they did show me, and now I know more about what to expect out of the story going in than I would like to have known. I mean, basically like 30 minutes after I saw the trailer, my friend Ryan, who's occasionally on the show, he sent me a message saying, if you don't want to be spoiled for any of the plot, don't watch the new Spider-Man trailer. I'm like, dude, I wish you had told me this like 45 minutes ago. Because if I had known how much stuff was going to be, and I suppose it's possible I could have known, but I mean, when I make a point of not watching other people's reactions before I film my own because I want my own to be my own feeling, my own thoughts. So I just wish I'd known how much of the plot was in this thing, because it's all good. I would have preferred to have been surprised by it in the theater. But that's sort of where I land on this trailer. It's a mixed bag of emotions, because I like it all, but I wish I was going to be surprised in the theater. So I don't know. What are you going to do? What were your thoughts on the new Spider-Man Homecoming trailer? Whatever they were, drop something down in the comments and let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, check me out on Twitter at Council of Geeks. Give a listen to the Council of Geeks podcast, available on iTunes and Stitcher. And until next time, this council is adjourned.